Hey YouTube, this is Sarg Goldleaf, and today I'm bringing you Gears of War Judgement, which released March 19th. The first three Gears of War games were around Marcus Phoenix and his squad. Gears of War Judgement is a prequel about Lieutenant Baird, who is later part of Phoenix's squad, Cole, who is also later part of Phoenix's squad, Paddock, and Hendricks. Lieutenant Baird's current squad is on trial for treason, and if found guilty, will be executed. Marcus Phoenix does make a small appearance in the game, but other than that, he is not a big part of it. The way the story is told is through each member of the squad's testimonies. Before you think that you have to play the game 4 times through, each testimony begins with the last one left off. This provides a nice break playing each character so that you don't get too tired of the same dialogue over and over again of the character you are playing. The graphics and audio from this game look and sound just the same as Gears of War 3, aside from the dialogue of course. Considering the effort they put into this game, I'm not going to count this against them though. The overall game mechanics are the same from the previous titles. There are a few minor additions. For example, each testimony is broken down into roughly 7 sections. Each section has an optional declassified mission. If you opt to do the declassified mission, you are given modified gameplay. For example, one declassified mission would give you only one weapon that you could use during that entire section, or it might make everything difficult to see during that section. This made it possible for you to make the game harder without having to go out of your way and go into your options and select different settings. After each section there is some breathing room so you can take a breather and relax for a moment until you're ready to go back in. This made it more enjoyable in the case you had to run in the restroom or refill your glass without pausing in the middle of the game, breaking combat. It also made it easier to judge good places to stop playing and go do something else, like go outside. Playing the other 3 Gears of War games, I was able to understand and keep up with the story, and it also answered a few questions I've had since playing this series. I believe I spotted a point or two in the story that might have broken canon, but I don't know the story that well to say if it did or not. I thoroughly enjoyed the story and believe that they might be making a sequel to this game explaining how they met Phoenix and what happened to Hendricks and Paddock. There were several things that I think stood out as being bad for the game. The first thing was that the sections were unpredictable in length. They could last anywhere from 2 to 15 minutes, making it difficult trying to decide whether or not to take a break or squeeze in one more section. Some of the longer sections were broken up into 2 or 3 checkpoints so that if you died, you could restart at a closer in time checkpoint. However, there were at least 3 times I died near an end of a long section and restarted at the beginning of the entire thing, causing frustration on especially difficult sections. I especially disliked the sections where you had to hunker down and hold a position against an unknown amount of enemies. Considering that Gears of War already features a survival-based mode that is essentially the same thing, survival just lasts much longer. I have never found these segments enjoyable in the games because they get tedious and dull after a while, especially since you don't know how long the enemies are going to come in after you and you want to get finished with the single player. These are more rants than anything and personal opinion, and in no way are they breaking game mechanics. I just found them frustrating. One last thing before I wrap this up, I noticed that there is a second campaign that you can play that is unlocked once you beat Judgment. The second campaign is called Aftermath, and it appears to take place after Gears of War 3. I'm interested in checking this out. I'm going to give this game a rating of an 8. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Ooh, glad to be out of there. What's next?
Well, we call in and make sure Control knows what's going on.